So, well, like I was telling you, I've done nothing illegal like a donut. Nothing. And they went all the way to hell with me. In fact, what I wanted to mention, during my son's incarceration, during my incarceration, when my son Jamie was born, and actually what's strange is that when he was born, I didn't even know the date of his birth at that time, which is February 19, 2005. I had a vision on that same day of his birth. I had a dream that a baby was being born. And I can hear, I can see it. That's right. But I wonder who would bring me that dream. Was that to torment me while I was in jail? See, you can't cross things with being divine. Sometimes they're satanic torment. You know? Satanic torment. You know, he's a real son. He's not, Shaitan is not a bastard. He's born of good pedigree. He's a vicious creature, man. Yeah, he's become a vicious creature. You listen to my words, because he wasn't always vicious. What you call the Shaitan, the demon, the arch-demon. He wasn't always vicious. He became a vicious creature with no return. And I look in the distance and I see the Air Canada logo there. The light is too much. I see the Air Canada logo, and I think of how much I miss my son, man. Yeah, you can't see it. I would have to walk all the way up to the gate, and then that wouldn't be allowed. That would be very, very bad etiquette. It would be suspicious to walk up to the gate and look. Air Canada is there, parked near the International behind me, and I see it, and I think about just being able to go on a simple flight, harassment-free, point of origin and point of destination, and then point of destination origin and back to a point of origin, harassment-free, totality, both trips, both directions, to be able to go see my son, or to make arrangements to have access to my son. I can't even do that in this climate because of a certain ethnic community that's put a marker on me, and they want to keep that marker. But potentially, the real experiment about me is they want to keep it perpetually, non-stop, forever, and forever. I remember when I went to the job center where I'm going now, which is on Quarry Road, like a rock quarry, Q-U-A-R-R-Y, Quarry Road in San Carlos, right? When I went there, I saw a federal car. People, they stopped using California exempt plates out here. They're very clever. And there was a man and there was a woman. It was like a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, when I started going in to try to get out of San Francisco, because it's like you're deadlocked. It's like you live in San Francisco, you subsist, but you don't go anywhere. Huh? You don't progress. You don't go anywhere. Huh? And a young Irishman, a young boy of Irish ancestry, who was a part of Noisebridge, a tech cooperative, he told me that years ago. He said San Francisco is like a vortex. And then people who are part of the Federal Fusion Centers one time walked past me at Moscone Center and said it out loud and laughed. San Francisco is like a vortex, because I was saying that to my mother. I told my mother what I heard from this young Irish ancestry, ethnic young man, and then they walked past me subsequently after that, some days later, or weeks or whatever, and said it out loud and laughed. Kept on going. Meaning I can't, there's nothing I can do about surveillance in the fusion centers. So just rub it and just slap it. Right in your face. Nothing you can do about it. See, this is the technology that General Alexander provides, but he believes in the stakeholders, that they're doing the right thing. And that if they have a reason, they have real threats to mitigate. You see, he has confidence in them, and his confidence in them is what enables and solidifies his position. And those like him, they don't question the stakeholders, which are mostly legislators and other people connected with private outfits and former legislators and cabinet level officials. You know, people in suits as opposed to uniforms. As a military person, they can't question that. They can't be seen in uprising to that. There's nothing General Alexander can do, man, if you're abusing those powers provided by NSA technology. So that's what you got to remember. The NSA only provides that data and the ability to do that. They provide it to the stakeholders. It's the stakeholders, not the NSA, you want to question or put in the light. What are the stakeholders doing with it, man? And which stakeholders are given instructions to do what? Like the NARIS unit in the room 610 in San Francisco. You want to ask what stakeholders want that, not the NSA. Stakeholders. Is it the Senate? Which senators want that? You know? Which legislators want that? Not the stakeholders. The stakeholders, I mean, not the NSA. The NSA only follows instructions of the stakeholders. You know, officers of the FBI and CIA. It's not the NSA, man. Trust me. They're not the culprit like you think. You know, the NSA. The stakeholders. So that's the 292 going to San Francisco, which I'm tired of getting on that bus every day going to San Francisco, subsisting, not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. And there are Muslims who want to cajole me. They want me to believe this is my destiny. This is my destiny, especially the Sufi mystics, because they practice ethnic racial hierarchy in Sufi mysticism, like a Farid Abdullah or Ali Veshi. Ali Veshi, with that V in his name, he might be Ismaili or some other type. Ali Veshi, that's how they practice ethnic hierarchy, with Afros being at the very bottom of the pole. So one of the coldest parts is when I was under arrest, when I was in detention here in the U.S., incarceration for making a false statement on a passport application. You see how, like, the blogger, the Chinese ethnic blogger in Singapore, the Chinese ethnic blogger in Singapore who's a Democratic, he was arrested and he was immediately released the same night or the next day, $10,000 bail. His bail was $10,000. See, if they respect you or they like your ethnicity, they make your bail low. This is what Justice Andrew Napolitano Jr. warned about. But that's Singapore. Did they do the same thing here? If they don't like you, they raise the bail. My bail was $200,000. $200,000. Now, one of the guys that helped the Tsarnaev, or however you pronounce their name, the goddamn brothers, I call them the goddamn brothers. Right in Boston, you know what his bail was? They just recently released him on bail, $100,000. And he was only there days. My case, I did nothing. They found out in the newspapers I did nothing. I didn't make it. What was the crime? Making a false statement on a passport application. They found out it was a lie. Somebody tried to fill in stuff, and not even my handwriting, in the State Department. It was a lie. This is what they hate most, is that the New York print put it in the paper. And this is what New York Bloomberg said, that the Daily News, which the reporter that did the article for the New York Times, Bloomberg was attacking the Times. The reporter that did my article in the Daily News is now in the Times, but he's been instructed by law enforcement. He's been intimidated. Russ Buechner, he's been threatened not to do anything concerning my case. Now that he's at the Times. I don't deserve it. They've taken him information, shown him things that nobody knows about, and they told him, do not touch my case. My case is a racial incendiary cauldron. Yeah. Do not take my case. It has race written all over it, man. I'm the only black American in the country that's going through that, and nobody has put attention on my case that's going through what I'm going through. Nobody. I'm the only black person in the entire country that goes through this, man. Maybe not, but I'm the one at the spear point, man. And I've done nothing. They found out that I did nothing. And then charged me for a phone bill. Even a Seattle police officer of French ancestry, when he was putting on the handcuffs, had the instructions of Detective Glenn Kearns, who was the head of the JTTF. He might be retired. Senior Master Detective Glenn Kearns instructed another officer to arrest me, to take me from the State Department building at 915 2nd Avenue. This officer, now today being May the 7th, 2013, this officer said, I don't like this. He said, I never put handcuffs on somebody for running up a phone bill. He said, I never did that. He said, I don't like it. This is a man of French ancestry, ethnicity. He said, I don't like it. He said, I don't like it at all. It stinks. He said, but I'm sorry, I got to follow instructions. You see? So my bail for making a false statement on a passport application, allegedly, which they found out was false, making a false statement on a passport application, it was a lie. They found out it was a complete lie from the State Department. You know what my bail was? $200,000, and I had no criminal history. Never even seen a jail. Didn't even know what a jail looked like, except for the telephone bill thing before. All that happened in a very short period of time because I was demanding access to have a passport again so I could be for the birth of my son in Canada. That's all I was asking now. And you see how they do it. And yet these nuts with the Tsarnaev brothers, they easily give them bail for $50,000, $100,000. And these guys took and they tried to hide evidence.